It's Mindful Movement Friday with Lee from Positive Constructs and the Code 9 Project. We've been talking about breathing and moving on Fridays, and today we are going to do some stretching for your intercostals. What are your intercostals, you might be asking? Why, they're the little muscles in between your ribs that help your chest to expand and shrink during the breathing process. So they're kind of important. And they get stiff and tight, and it's important to stretch them. So we're going to do a couple of simple stretches. The key is to work up to maybe holding for 1 minute on each side. However, I suggest 10 seconds on each side to start off. Maybe 3 rounds on each side. That's still only a minute, ladies and gentlemen. So you're going to stand about hip width apart for the first stretch. Your arms are going to come up over your head, and you are going to gently grip your elbows. Now ideally, you want the elbows right over the shoulder joints, like so. No butt sticking out. Keep your butt tucked under. However, if you have tight shoulder joints, you might only be here or here, and that overhead action is actually very beneficial for you. So from here, standing hip width apart, all you're going to do is lean over slightly. Now, you're going to feel this right away from the hip probably all the way up into the armpit, all right? You don't want to crank it, right? You want to lift and extend. Look at the difference. Crank, where you're collapsing on one side, as opposed to lifting and extending. Notice there's a U shape instead of a collapse, okay? This means that you are lifting out of the shoulder and the hip, and you're really opening the side of the body. Now, if you really want to get a stretch, you can turn and look at your armpit. Hope I wore deodorant today. And then gently come back to center. Drop the arms and circle for a moment just to loosen the shoulder joints up, okay? And then you're going to come up and reverse the grip and do the same thing on the other side, keeping in mind that you don't want to you want to keep your booty tucked under, all right? And again, we're not collapsing, we're lifting up and extending over. It feels so nice if you've been sitting a lot. Don't take my word for it. Get out of that chair, stop watching me, and join me. And then if you want, you can turn and rotate, and then back to center, okay? So this is a wonderful intercostal or side stretch, all right? Now, if you want to get even more fancy with it and add a little at the hip, you can cross your feet and do the same thing. Yeah, that feels good. And then back to center, and then release. Cross, switch elbows. Make sure you switch the grip of the elbow and look up. And what do you do when you're done? You roll your shoulders, of course. And if you want, you can do your mobility exercises from last week. Remember the TikTok? Okay? So that is a basic intercostal stretch, which is very beneficial for assisting your chest in expansion and contraction during the breathing process. May you all breathe deeply and well. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you on Monday for Motivational Monday.